Stasha, it is lovely to have you with us and to be chatting with us today. It's been quite a robust, I would say, opening to the conference this morning. What were some of your highlight takeaways?
Thank you, Aman. It's great to be here. One of them is definitely the honesty in the room. Really great to see such qualified people with great experience really telling the room what's happening, not only in the economy, but also in the payments industry, and how we need to relook at how we price things, how we look at how we run services to really just take the friction out for our citizens.
And inclusivity was a big part of those opening statements this morning. How do we get to a place, from your perspective and in the work that you do, to make sure that our digital inclusivity is voluminous?
So I think it's around making sure that everything that we do is really interoperable and working together with all of the stakeholders in the payments industries. So we have fintechs, we have the regulators, we've got PASA themselves, we've got the banks, we've got M&Os as well as retailers. And all of us every day are working together because finally the customer has to be able to make payment. And if they can't do it digitally, they are going to do it with cash because it's the thing that makes them the most safe.
Well, let's talk about yourselves as a Massmart, as a multi-lane retailer. What are some of the main things that you are looking for from your partners when considering a new payment solution?
Thanks, Man. And I think what's really important for us is that the payment provider has a clear business case. What are they trying to achieve? What are the number of customers that they think are going to adopt the service? What function are they trying to render in terms of what the consumer's experience is about? The other thing is around having a really stable environment end to end that is really tried and tested. And sometimes that's difficult because for fintechs, they're trying something new. They don't always have all of the infrastructure. And it's one of the things that we want to work with them on improving. And probably lastly is around having really strong support structures. You know, social media is rife for everybody, and everyone knows that they can go onto any platform and complain if they have a bad experience. And that bad experience always goes to, can I have my money back? Whether it's for a refund or a return. And I really think that we need to be more mature in terms of how we expect to deliver new services, especially around new payments and making sure that the customer has a great experience in the reverse scenario.
All right, so we've spoken about it from a Massmart perspective. Let's talk about some of the things that a fintech should consider when offering a service to a multi-lane retailer such as yourselves.
Absolutely. So firstly, it's definitely around data security. Data security for the consumer themselves, for associates, and just generally the ecosystem. It's around making sure that we're protecting that data end to end, from the time that the customer taps their card to the time that they need a refund, through all the back-end systems. The second is to say, how do we understand that multi-lane retail is really complex? You know, the till is not the only piece of software that gets interacted with when we need to make changes. There are financial systems, there's stock management systems, there's regulatory systems, and then we have PCI requirements in terms of security. So there's a number of touch points. And the third one, which encapsulates all of it, is around how we reconcile our data, how we report on our data, and how we test it. How we test it end to end to make sure that anything new that we introduce doesn't actually impact other basic areas in our business. Because fundamentally, we want our customers to have a really great experience. We want to save them money, and we want to keep their dignity. Around when they're at the till point, how do we reduce that friction in the simplest possible way?
Yeah, data security has been a big issue. When we see data breaches, across the value chain in the markets, whether you're in insurance or whether you're in health or whichever sector, how do you reinforce that message to your clients that you're taking care of their data?
So I think it's about how we treat them and how we speak to them in terms of social media or how we reference their data, and also around how we train our associates to make our customers feel comfortable about how we're processing their data. And it's around how they engage with their payment provider and what the payment provider says around the merchants, and just really how we communicate with them is so important.
staying cutting edge, making sure the improvements and the tweaks and the iterations and all that lovely language about staying current and cutting edge are very, very important. Are there areas you believe, Stasha, where the payment technology and our payment technology landscape could get better?
I think so, Iman. I think one of the biggest areas that, leaders that are holding the purse strings in organizations and managing budgets, I ask all of them to just listen a little bit longer to the people that are asking to improve their test environments. Payments is critical. It's very secure in this industry. South Africa has a very robust environment, but introducing new systems causes challenges. We change the data, we add elements to the data, and I think it's really important around how can we put more money behind test environments and really robust test environments that can really do an end-to-end transaction, including the recon and settlement processes and the reporting, so that when we introduce systems into production, we know that we've done everything that's possible to make sure that that payment type is going to work in the industry.
So at the end of it all, you have a product that you want to move into the market, you want to move it as swiftly and as efficiently as possible. You've been saying how you want the customer experience to mirror that. You want people to be really happy, not only with the products and services, but the methodology that they use to actually secure those products and services. As you continue to keep the consumer in mind, what are some of the other new horizons that you as a business, particularly from a digital perspective, are looking towards to further enhance that?
So we like to support what's happening in the industry in general. There's a lot of focus around facilitation of payments through QR code, and definitely PayShap is forefront in everybody's mind. So not only is it currently peer-to-peer, but over time, as a merchant, it is our responsibility to support the industry and to support the regulators and make sure that our customers have access to all the payment types that are available in the business. So we really work hard to make sure that there is foundational pieces of work that are available in all of our systems, that as payment services come across, we like them to be ubiquitous. We like to reuse services. So Tap and Go is a great example that, multiple services came out with that function. And I think QR code seems to be the next place that allows us to create abilities for new payment types to come out on that.
I can tell you it's so great being able to pay for my parking ticket with the QR code. You just go to your app, you quickly tap, and it's done. If that could be mimicked across the entire sort of service and value chain, that for me would be first prize. Stasha, Batty, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it has been a great pleasure.